If you're wanting to get more sales, maybe even more clientele, you're going to have to start creating custom text within your flags or any of your signs for that matter. So let's go ahead and talk about that today. Hey, what's going on guys? This is Edgar with A8 Timber and Pine, and in this video I want to share with you how I create custom text within my flags. It's not very hard to create custom text in Carbide Create, but what I want to focus on specifically in this video is how to create custom text that is the same size throughout your carve or throughout your design. There are multiple ways to resize your text in Carbide Create, and we'll touch upon that for a little bit. There is one way that I create my custom text, and it makes sure that the text is the same size throughout the entire project. And that's what I want to focus on today. So not only am I going to show you how to create text that is the same size and it's going to be proportional throughout your whole project in this video, I also want to show you real briefly how to align your text within the center of a stripe or within another vector. And lastly guys, if you guys are getting value out of these videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. It does help this channel. I couldn't do it without you guys. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting, and I'll continue to create these videos so long as they are helpful. So I appreciate you guys, and without further ado, let's jump into the video. All right guys, so let's jump into Carbide Create. The very first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to import your flag SVG. When I buy a flag SVG, what I like to do is I like to make sure that the spacing is correct on the entire flag between these stripes. So I will take a single stripe here and then just attach it here to the lower left hand corner so that it's aligned. And you want to make sure that the stripe that you just added is evenly spaced and actually attaches to the one that is underneath here, or the next pocketed stripe. So that's what I would do first initially when you buy an SVG file. But I've already done that for this particular flag, and so what I want to do now is I want to think about where I'm going to add my text, my custom text. So let's think about this real quick. These stripes here are going to be pocketed, so I don't want to add text to these pocketed stripes unless that's the style that you want to go for. But typically we won't put any text in these pocketed stripes. If you do flags with the 13 individual stripes, you know that most of the time it's actually the reverse, that you actually put the text on these white stripes. These pocketed stripes here on a single piece flag are considered your white stripes. So we usually add the text on the white stripes when we have 13 individual strips. But when we're making a single piece flag and we're pocketing these white stripes, we don't add the text there. So how do you add text so that it lines up evenly and is spaced evenly throughout? So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add the stripes for the red stripe. Let's assume that these stripes here are going to be red. What we want to do is we want to add one of these stripes here to the red stripes to show us, visually where the red stripes are going to be. So we're going to go ahead and do that throughout. Let me go ahead and do that now. And once you have your short stripes, go ahead and do the exact same thing for your long stripes. So copy one of the longer ones and paste it at the node here. Okay, so now that you have all 13 stripes added here, we have all 13 stripes here available. The next step that you want to do is you want to add your text. So in this particular case, we're going to do the Thomas Paine quote. So the first line is going to be, "I prefer peace." So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, once we have the text added, we're going to just size it to what we think is best. Just go ahead and resize it to whatever you like. And then once you have it sized close to what you want, let's go ahead and select the text. Select the stripe by holding shift, and then we're going to click on this in the transform section. We're going to click on this align vectors, and we're going to go ahead and click this middle one. This aligns it vertically and horizontally to the stripe. As you can see, it centered the text within the stripe, and that seems pretty good right there. It's not too close to the edge of the stripe, and it should give us pretty good sized text. Here's another tip that you want to consider. When you're creating this text, you might think, okay, well, I need to create another text box here, add my next line of text, which would be, "But if trouble." And then you might think, I need to resize it again. Let me go ahead and resize it. You're not going to be able to immediately resize it to the size of this original text that you have. This is the text that you now want, right? Or the size of the text that you now want. How are you going to resize it manually? It's going to be very hard. Another option that you could do is just click on the text and click on this scale option and see what the current size is. but that's going to be a lot of work. The best way that I think you should go about this is by selecting your text, copying it and pasting it, okay, and then double clicking on it and now editing your text. Now your text is definitely the exact same size as your original line, or this first line. Okay, so that's how you want to go ahead and go about this whole process. Let's do another line real quick. So to ensure that you are getting the exact same size text throughout the entire flag, I suggest that you create one line of text that you like, and then copy and paste it again, and then edit that line of text, and you will have the exact same size text throughout your flag. So let me go ahead and finish this off real quick, and let me show you what we're going to do next. For Thomas Paine's name, I'm going to add it over here to the right hand side. I don't want to have it centered. I think it'll look better when it's off to the right. And so to be able to align it to the right and still centered on the flag, go ahead and move the name to an area that you think looks good. So let's just assume I like that. Let's stick it there. With the name selected, hold shift and select a stripe and go back to this align vectors option, and we're going to use this vertical alignment button, and it aligns the text to the center of the stripe. So let me go ahead and show you one more time real quick. I like this location of the name vertically in this line here. So let me go ahead and align it in the center now of the stripe by selecting the name, holding shift, selecting the stripe. In the alignment vectors or align vectors option, click on the vertical one, and it moves it right to the center of the stripe. All right. So now that we have the text aligned how we want it, what you want to do next is you want to remove all these stripes that we added, all the red stripes. The reason why we added the red stripes was really just for alignment purposes. Now that we have the text where we want it, we don't need these anymore. And so I can select them all by holding shift, deleting them, and now the text is in the perfect alignment within the flag. It is centered to the red stripes, even though you cannot see the red stripes. And so that is how you would set up custom text within a flag. All right, so next let me show you the toolpaths that I did or that I used to be able to create this flag. So for the stars, I used a 60-degree V-bit with stock bottom set as my max depth. My plunge and feed rate were set at 80-90. The step per pass was default. You could always update that if you want to go slightly faster. For my text, I use a 60-degree V-bit as well with 80-90. Same settings for my stars, and the max depth was stock bottom as well. The reason why I use two different toolpaths for my stars and my text is because I do use different Z-axis zeros for my stars and my text. When I'm about to carve the stars, I will reset my Z-axis 0 in the area of the union to ensure that I am accounting for any unevenness of the material. And same with the text. If I am going to do any text in the flag, I will move my Z-axis over one of these areas where the stripes would be, and I will reset my Z-axis there, again to account for any unevenness in the material. So that is why I use two different toolpaths for my stars and my text. And for my text, I use an advanced V-carve toolpath. I do enable the area pocket tool, which I would use a 201 end mill to be able to remove more material faster. And same plunge and feed rate 80-90. The depth per pass is 0.06. And then I will finish off with a 60-degree V-bit at 80-90 plunge and feed rate. Depth per pass is 0.1. But the max depth that I will use for these straps is going to be 0.04. Let's go ahead and take a look at a simulation. And there you go. A nice looking flag. Let's go and send it off to the machine and let me show you the end product.